This is RTSS. It's a new video game. I'm just kidding. It's not. This is a form that you would fill out. And since I'm too lazy to fill out a form, what we're going to do today is we're going to generate some random data. Not really random, it's pre-programmed data. And I'm going to use that for demonstration purposes so that we could see why I'm so excited about this form that I built. So here we go. Load demo data. There we go, Taco Bell. That's a new one. Alright. The information that's loaded in here is based off of a whole lot of different technology vectors that go into restaurants. And it's important for us to document these nuances when we're doing new installs or technology upgrades. So some of the things that we have here are pretty straightforward. I'm going to skip past a lot of this because it's very boring. But along the way, I'm just kind of like cash drawer cable. I don't need a cash drawer cable. Customer display cable. No. See, it's mixing up some of the Ethernet cable stuff with other peripheral cables. I'll work on that. No worries. Okay, I'm skipping past. Cable when needed. Label printer. It doesn't know that label printers work, I think, off of Bluetooth or Wi-Fi for the zebras. That's okay. Digital menu boards. Front of house menu board. 2. Okay, to be determined. What do we got? I'm gonna use a off-the-shelf garbage display. TV management AV. Okay, I put a music thing in here. Let's see if I can find it. Let's see. Audio system. Let's do... Yes, background. It doesn't give me... Oh, here we are. That's what I want. Mood. Bam. Look at that. Okay. I said I was going to skip past this stuff. I will. I am. This is what I'm looking for. Okay. Let me zoom in here. ISP WAN. Need replaced. Okay. Oh, that's fantastic. So it says the status of it right there. So if I go up and change the status in the form, it'll change need replaced for the router or gateway to whatever the model is that I chose. And this will update as I go through and incorporate more data. Like the network switch, if I actually choose that it's a Linksys 16 port unit, then it should actually populate there that it's a Linksys. Similarly with the KDS and POS, whatever the whatever the infrastructure is, it will populate here for a quick reference. Okay, so the network switch is distributing internet out to many other devices, and we're not trying to piggyback any devices. What have we got down here? Commercial. Oh yeah, I guess that would be a piggyback a little bit. Yeah, I think that would be. So TVs, the central hub would get the data connection, and then that would send the information to the TV, probably HDMI. So that makes sense. I wonder if I need to get a bunch of HDMI cables. Anyway, let's see here. Tablet 1, tablet 2. So those are Wi-Fi, so that's why they're red. Let's see, there should be a... Yeah, we have a little key down here. So that tells us what's up. Okay. So this is page 1. Let's move on. Okay. So this is page 2. It trimmed out the things that we didn't choose on page 1. And it still says software at the top instead of Taco Bell, and put it in the wrong spot. Okay, I'll fix that. Let's see here. Terminal 1. Okay, so these are pieces of hardware that already shows. So obviously that's going to be Windows 11. SaaS subscription. Yes, yes, yes. What is that? What is it asking me for? Peripheral COM method. So that could be a mix. That could be serial or USB and both actually. So I'll figure out why that's important and apply it some more value. Okay. So those are the terminals. Tribal knowledge. Right. Okay. KDS. It's starting to rain. I think I need to roll out. Okay, let me look at the last page here. So, this is the cabling. This is the drops. How many feet of cable we need. It's just pre-filled in for 100 feet. So if we actually had the measurements of the store, I can go in here and adjust that so that way we're ordering the right quantity of cable. And also, I want it to have, oh, there it is. I want it to have this thing that it has. That's what I want. So that's pretty practical. 1,700 feet for a store. I've definitely installed stores with more and less cable than that. So that would work. That would be fine. I would double check it with the actual layout of the store to see if it's overkill, because if I can do it with 300 less, then I can ask them for 300 less. But that was another thing. That's supposed to be an increment of 300 or 1,000. So 1,700 feet means that we need to order the proper increment. So look at this. Recommended 2 1,000 foot spools. That's what I'm talking about. That's fantastic. Okay, rack, unknown, wall power. Okay, so this is a little shallow. I can make this bigger and longer. The cabling site survey should have an actual diagram, like, of the store with all the measurements and stuff, and then that should account for the vertical layout as well, so that way we're not missing any footage that needs to be accounted for. So like a kitchen display is usually like 6 feet off the ground, whereas a register is like 4 feet off the ground. That's a 2 foot difference. And sometimes the place that the cable comes out, the front counter, is still like 4 feet from where it's actually terminated. So you can't really. So there's a lot of nuances. I don't know how to tell it what it needs to know to make the proper calculations. So that's why I just summarized with 1,000 or 100 foot per peripheral. So, and then let's see what peripherals here. KDS, 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 kitchen printer, menu board, ATM. Fantastic. Yeah, that looks good. What is this? Quantity. Oh, I see. It's got. Okay. It's just not lined up right. 100 feet, 100 feet. Why does it say. So if I did 50 foot, go down here. There you go. There's the math. It's mathing. All right. 124 port panel. Okay. So that's how I'll get the recommendation on the hardware. So we're getting pretty close to feeding this tool a list of hardware that it's allowed to use in an install, and then I can gather the SKUs that would be proper for this, and then build what do you call not a magazine, but it looks like one. That word that means a freaking thing with SKUs in it. And then once I have that, then save materials, I guess. Oh, let's see. Once I have that, then basically I can price out what an install would cost. So, and then I can work out costs and get the price down. Like, what would it cost for me to implement my own restaurant technology? What would it cost for me to go out and get these vendor relationships? Not that I have the ability to, but like, people have their own thing going on. Let's see what I can do. I don't know. Let's find out.